Now let's meet tonight's wrestlers for the Hawkeyes and your Lancers. Gentlemen, as we announce your names, please walk to the center of the mat and shake hands. And from CDU, Max Charty. Iowa is coached by Bob Telford, and CBU is coached by Derek Moore, assisted by Elroy Perkin and Eric Morrill. Your official for the evening is Titus Godbold.
All right, folks, we are about to get underway, starting at 125, going right up the lineup, 10 weight classes. Some new look Iowa Hawkeyes here for the first time in the 2023-24 season. They have 8 out of the 10 weight classes are brand new. We're not starters last year. The only starters are returning starters, are Real Woods and Brody Teske. And I will say this, they picked up some Big 12 talent. They picked up a couple transfers in Franek, Kendo, and Voinovich, and it fills out a pretty solid part of their lineup. Now, that's the middle of their lineup. Now, one of the things that I don't know if it came across in the broadcast, but at 174 pounds, on paper as of right now, Iowa has Aiden Riggins going. But I will say this, Gabe Arnold, who's a true freshman, wrestled for Iowa City last year, Iowa City High School, by way of Georgia. You know, he's warm, I can tell you that much. He went a real hard go before these lights went down. And so keep an eye on 174 pounds, folks. But right now we got 125. We've got Drake Ayala coming in against Elijah Griffith. And Griffith here, kind of, it looks to me, and again, this is my first season calling CBU duels. It looks to be that this kid really enjoys the sport. During warm-ups, he was gassing up the team. He was dancing around during warm-ups. Gives Coach Moore a good old point before they actually blow the whistle. Now Ayala, you're gonna watch a left-hand single leg, and he is good at it. Outside step to the other side. The kid has a tremendous amount of weapons. One of the best heights. There's a nice shot. And Griffith gets pulled out of bounds, and they'll go back to the neutral position, 0-0. Ayala, like I said, was one of the top high school wrestlers. Coming out and was stuck behind Spencer Lee for the last couple years. It's not a bad guy to have in the room with you. And you see him going. There's a nice overtie slide by. Griffith knows he got away with one. He was darn close there. But again, Ayala has a great left-hand single leg. He's gonna watch. There's a nice right-hand single leg by Griffith. Watch Ayala's right-hand club, and as soon as Griffith starts to reach with his right hand, he'll drop right in on a single leg. Good down block there by Ayala. He's measuring with that right hand. There's a right-hand single leg again by Elijah Griffith. Can't get a bite on it. There it is, that left-hand single leg coming at you. Let's see if he switches it up and goes to the other side. Underhook now for Griffith. There's that single leg. And shuffles it on the near hip. Griffith goes leg pass, and he's got a takedown on the leg pass. 3-point takedown. That feels weird saying, but I'll say it again. 3-point takedown to start the duel here for the Lancers. And that was I thought he was gonna get hit with a danger rule count there, but he's doing a great job of pinching the knees, taking any post away from Ayala. And Griffith, now you hear the CBU bench immediately getting on the official. Ayala has yet to really come off of his belly in the, 37, 38. Stalemate is the call from the official. All right. Yeah, I guess that's maybe as good as close to a warning, I guess. Ayala will get a fresh start from referee's position. And Griffith has to cut him. 44 seconds of riding time built up. Nice single leg, and let's see if he can keep this pace. You know, one of the things that you see with younger wrestlers, especially, look, nice slide by, is keeping pace. There's a nice job into a switch, so the score is 4-4, and there is about 3 seconds left. Okay. And time should be out. That'll do it. So,
at the end of the first period, the score is 4-4.
Griffith defers. Here comes the takedown by Griffith. Watch him go with his left hand underneath the leg, lifts through, and instead of trying to roll it through, he pushes back into him. That's awesome wrestling by Elijah Griffith. A lot of guys would stay on that leg pass. Instead, he does almost like a sit-up and just kind of wrestles back into him. Nice job by Griffith getting him off the ground, brings him down in a pretty darn serious manner. That was impressive. Everybody loves a good mat return. And Griffith doing a good job of pinching at the knees, and man, he is controlling the hips really, really well. You can tell Ayala is really frustrated by that. Like, I don't know how else to explain it other than it's an extended chop. You know, most guys chop and keep their feet on the ground and keep driving. 107 of riding time, 108, 109, 110, and it'll stop at 113. So riding time at 1:13 for Elijah Griffith. Still 5-4 now. And as I was saying earlier, when they were in the neutral position towards the end of the first, I'm not sure what the official, they're going to fix riding time. I would tend to agree with Coach Brands on that. They let that run for about 3-4 seconds longer than I would have. Now, remember the rule on as far as the top wrestler goes. Now, I was keeping my eye on the clock, so I didn't. So if we can watch that that escape call, that'd be awesome. But the rule is the hand has to go past the center of the back in order for it to be called an escape there. I'm sure they'll sort it out. That's there's about a minute left in the second period, just for an FYI. And as I was talking about earlier at the end of the first, you know, Elijah Griffith, redshirt sophomore, Drake Ayala, sophomore. One of the things that we see that younger wrestlers struggle with is not just pace, but pace for a full 7 minutes. Now, this is one of the places that the Big Ten specifically really excels at the end of the year. You see guys in the Big Ten are used to weathering a storm for an entire 7 minutes, whereas other conferences just don't get put under that type of pressure for a full 7. And man, they must have goofed the riding time a little bit more than I thought. They have it up at 125 right now in favor of Elijah Griffith. And nice go behind attempt. If he went to the hamstring, he might have got it, or at least got it to a leg. Over tie, slide by again. Again, this is the pressure we were talking about. You know, you can deal with it once, you can deal with it twice. 8-4 now the score. Boy, that sounds interesting. It's only been 2 takedowns to 1 with an escape involved. So 8-5 is the score. Nice little underhook throw by off of Ayala's shot by Elijah Griffith. And overhook. And you can see him biting down on that right hand overhook. Maybe he knows a little something we don't know in that position. But I'd be real cautious of going to the collar if I were Elijah Griffith. It's his choice. He'll take the bottom position. 1:07 on the riding time clock, built up for Ayala. So you're gonna see him wrestle hard on top for at least 8 seconds. See if he wants to get to work on top, or if he winds up kind of cutting him. Something tells me he'll get to work on top. Hard chop on the left-hand side, breaks him down to a hip now. Does Ayala. And that will eliminate the riding time. Griffith breaks him, or excuse me, makes him his way back up to a base. And he's gonna cut him. Makes me look silly. There's a go-behind attempt there off the initial 1-point escape, but nothing doing. Elijah Griffith has to move his feet a little bit more. There's a double leg from, there's the pressure we were talking about. And Griffith gets Ayala gets a takedown now, makes it 11-6. And things are gonna get ugly here soon if Elijah Griffith doesn't pick up the pace. Hard. There's a single leg. And pace is a killer. Ayala running up the score now. It is 14-7. Stall call on bottom. And there is about 35 seconds left to go here in the third period. And I mean, yes, the ref was bored. So we'll go back to the center. No change in the score or the position. Another slide by Ayala, and no takedown. Now it's a takedown. So 17-8 will be the score with 10 seconds left. Something tells me Ayala might want one more, get a major. And that'll do it. Oh, he's got a major. Not bad. Because of math, mostly. So with riding time, it turns out to be 18-8. And that'll be a major decision for University of Iowa. Like I said earlier in the bout, sneaking out one in the beginning is, yeah, okay. You got to wrestle for 7 minutes, and that is not easy to do. These guys in the Big Ten, they have an advantage in that department. They are battle tested. Now, there are points in which it becomes a detriment. There's no doubt about that. They, you know, sometimes they're more prone to injury. You know, sometimes the wheels fall off a little bit earlier in the season for a kid that's just not built for a 6-month season. But for the most part, as the rule and not the exception, the Big Ten has a really, really devastating pace. All right, folks, Brody Teske up next. He'll be taking on Hunter Leake, hometown boy, Clovis, California, Buchanan High School. Brody Teske, a native of Iowa, went to Happy Valley for a hot minute, came back, finished out his scholastic career at Northern Iowa, and then goes to Iowa to finish up. Fun fact for you, there are more people here at the Fowler Event Center than live in Brody Teske's hometown of Duncombe, Iowa. 381 by the last census, just so you know. 381 people. Nice single leg attempt there. Teske chest to chest. And single leg. Leake bites into an underhook. He has a single leg, shelves it on the far hip. If he can limp arm, he's in good shape. Teske is dog on a bone on that whizzer. And if he lifts up a little bit more, he might have it. And Teske hanging on for dear life with that whizzer. Leake sits him down to his butt. No score yet. Full-on splits here for Brody Teske. Leake trying to pull him back into bounds, and now he's in bad position. Out the back now, Iranian finish for Leake. He's got 1 foot secured. Teske kicking away, trying to leg pass, switches to the crotch now. And he's got to look for a danger call here. The referee is in good position. There's a Turk leg in. Oh my goodness, Teske's got him in a danger position. They're too far off the mat. They go out of bounds, but a heck of a scramble here about halfway through the first period. Hunter Leake, hard righty stance. And in on a high crotch, Teske, short offense, underhook on the right, starting to chase tail on the left. Leake's got to keep a hand on that leg, or at least the elbow at the very least. Grabbing the toes a little bit. That happens. Rubbin's racing. And still no score. Still no score. And now it's 2. So Teske jumps out to a 3-0 lead. Has a Turk leg in. And he's threatening for more. Now remember, new rules this year. Don't just stay on the neutral position with a 3-point takedown. We also have 2 and 3-point near falls. So a 2 count will get you 2 points. 3 count will get you 3 points. 4 count, well, you get it. Hard ride here on the left-hand side for Brody Teske. Left hand half Nelson. And clock winding down. That'll do it for the first. So 3-0 with a bit of defensive go behind. Here comes the takedown here, folks. And Oh no, this is a scramble to about halfway through the first. And again, it's a great job by Hunter Leake. There's a nice mat return by Brody Teske. And he's going right into a tilt. You're seeing a whole lot more of that. Guys that are really, really good on top are finding ways to tilt guys to their back without even having the arms secure. Why? Well, because there's more value in it now, right? There's a 2-point near fall. There's always a 2-point near fall, but I mean, there's a 3-point near fall. There's a 4-point near fall. So look. So 2 so far. Haven't broke 45 for more than 2. But it's hard for you to see with the camera angle, and it's no one's fault. They just keep on moving. It's hard to see, but when I was growing up, we had to have that arm secured to go into a tilt. Now these guys are just kind of like hanging on to it, I don't know, for lack of a better term, willy-nilly, and just keeping the tight waist and sneaking out of count. And near side, wrist, and gets a 1 count. They go out of bounds. So Teske builds his lead to 5-0. Whistle starts. Teske will get heavy right on the shoulders and neck, keeping himself anchored in the crotch. There's another claw tilt, I believe. Can't really see from my vantage point. Teske is really staying heavy on the head and shoulders of Leake. Leake did get a stall call a little bit earlier in the second period. 10 seconds left to go here, and a 1 count only. 1 count only. That was it, just a 1 count. So Teske will take a 6-0 lead. 6-0? 5-0. It says 6 on your graphics, but I believe it's 5. Yeah. 5-0 lead here into the third period. And wrap tie here for Brody Teske. Lefty lead. Single leg attempt there by Hunter Leake. Teske pulling his arm out of short offense and collects another 3. That'll make it 8. Another major decision if it holds the way it is right now for the Hawkeyes. Riding time is up, creeping towards 3 minutes. And Leake catches an escape, so that makes it 8-1. Still has a major. High crotch, and again, we're talking about that pressure. There's a takedown. He has both legs, and he's on his butt. Another 3 points, making it 11-1. And they can score to bounds. Nice reverse. I spoke too soon. Almost a reversal. Teske can scramble. No change. Great non-call by the official. I would have jumped the gun on that. God, look at how Brody Teske is using both of his legs to drive his chest into the back and shoulders. Now, you'll see the referees start to count. Anywhere on the mat, if the top wrestler drops down to an ankle, they have a 5 count, or else it's a stall call. I was in on the refs meeting earlier, and so between that, the 3-point takedown, 2 and 3-point near falls, the only other thing that there's another stall call makes it 12-1. The only other thing that you have to concern yourself with as we start the 23-24 season is drop down rule. So as the top wrestler drops down to the leg, the bottom wrestler, that's a major decision for Brody Teske, 8-0 Iowa, going into 141 pounds. As I was saying, the bottom wrestler is required to turn and kick in order to start a count. So we take that for what it's worth, and we will see national finalist Real Woods here in just a second. Now, he is one of the returning starters for the Hawkeyes this year, but he didn't start his college career Hawkeye. He started in this state, a little bit north of here, at Stanford University. Finished up his degree early and transferred to the Big Ten and Iowa City more specifically. All right, Darren Green here for the Lancers. Left-hand single leg. Boy, oh boy. You know, I remember him having a lot. There's some great finishing moves on the mat by Real Woods. I want you to, if we can get a replay of that, that'd be awesome. The way that he switched from wrapping around the leg to putting both hands on the feet, that is as high level as it comes. One of the things that plagues, here it comes right here. Watch both hands coming up to, or coming down to the ankle there, just as that replay started. That is high level wrestling. And it's almost counterintuitive for a lot of the young wrestlers in this country. We're always taught, well, you gotta wrap your hand around the leg when you get a single leg. Well, that's where those shin whizzers come in. Here's a nice roll through hazard tilt by Real Woods. He's got a 4 count. Ref's got it in his pocket. Till the let's go of the wrist, he does, and 3-0 becomes 7-0 in a hurry. 7-0, you're not a minute in. Dude, there's another hazard tilt. That's pretty darn tight, too. Can't imagine he won't get another 4 set. I've seen people pinned in a tilt there. There's another 4, so it makes it 11. And riding time just about at a minute, and things going from bad to worse for young Mr. Green, as he has a NCAA finalist on top of him, and that guy is for realsies. Head lever breaks him down. I wonder if he'll switch to a bar, go back to that tilt. He has a bar with the right hand? Yep, bar with the right hand. Has him pinned through. Maybe a half with the left. Nope. Switches to a roll through. Gets at least another 2. Could be getting a fall with that tilt. He's darn close, but that's a 4 count, makes it 15. And we have our first period technical superior. Actually, they call it a tech fall? They call it a tech fall in college. First period tech fall for Real Woods, and he did it with a 3-point takedown and some hazard tilts on top. Now, we were talking about some of the transfers to Iowa City. Here is a young man that wore very opposite colors not too long ago. He was a Oklahoma State Cowboy as of last year and transfers to Iowa City and the Iowa Hawkeyes. And that's Victor Voinovich. He'll be taking on Dane Morton at 149 pounds here. Dane Morton from Winthrop, Minnesota. He is a graduate student here at CBU. Dane Morton shakes hands, drops in on an underhook, so throw by, and digs in on 2 undies. Who doesn't love that to start a match? Threatening quick with some double underhooks. Voinovich blocking with the head. And stalemate call back to the center. Morton tells me he wants to get back to that hook. Yeah, he does. Thumb block, underhook. Drops into a nice fireman's carry. Dean Morton tries to sit the corner, and Voinovich is good in this position. I've seen him here a ton. Not too bad on top either, by the way. And Dean Morton doing a good job just kind of blocking off. Maybe the referee gets a little bit bored. Maybe you get your hips back a little bit. Great job by Dean Morton, really collecting his hips. Voinovich tries to lift, go Iranian. No score. Now, that's the type of position that I'd like to see the official give him a little bit more time in. Dean Morton did a phenomenal job of wrestling out of that crackback position, a position that Voinovich is pretty darn adept in. And he gets back to a solid defensive position, and the referee blows the whistle. Hand fighting, slide by attempt there. Underhook, back to that kind of under over position for Dean Morton. Now that Voinovich sees that underhook coming, nice single leg, re-attack, great job getting to the leg, or he can't get a bite on it though. That was a pretty darn fast go behind. Tried to get to the leg, just couldn't get a good bite. Inside trip attempt there by Dean Morton. Nice snap down there by Voinovich. He has a front headlock. Pulls down, goes across the body. Almost a dresser dump position, but I don't know, you think, and I'm asking you as the folks at home, I think the longer this goes, the longer this goes scoreless, the more it favors Morton. I'd say yes. Short time on the clock. And that'll do it for the first. Goose eggs to start the first period here at 149 pounds. Morton throws a boot in, has one in. I don't know, he takes it out for some reason. And now Voinovich clears himself, catches an escape with about 12 seconds of riding time, 11 actually. There's a high crotch attempt by Voinovich. He can't quite get his hands locked. He's down on a hip. Morton trying to break the lock. And maybe a step over, I don't know. Maybe get two hands on that left leg of Voinovich, and the referee doesn't like wrestling. So we'll go back to the center, still in the neutral position. Back to that under over. There's a underhook throw by for Dean Morton. Something tells me that this one's going to be decided on the mat. You're going to watch Voinovich really try and ride the heck out of him. Morton circles. And now it's Voinovich in on an underhook with the left-hand side. Double leg from space. Morton stuffs it. Now he changes it to a single leg. He's defending with a whizzer. Voinovich pops the head to the outside. Morton does a great job of keeping his hips heavy, sliding off the mat, living to fight another day. 19 seconds left to go here in the second period. Voinovich has to know that he's going to have to put together a real serious ride here. Minute and 11 seconds to be exact, if he wants to have the lead in the third period.
And the next period, the score is Iowa 1, CBU 0.
Boots in, and that is a great way to start the third if you are a Hawkeye fan, because Voinovich with 2 legs in is an absolute nightmare. And now, this is a position that I've seen referees call stay out. Ooh, that was close to a full. And he gets a wrist, and you'll see him pull like the elbow up into his chest on that power half before he brings it across the head, which is wise to do. And again, stalemate. Oh boy, I don't know. I mean, he was working pretty hard on top as far as I was concerned. But again, they don't give me a whistle, they give me a microphone, so what do I know? Nice power position here for Morton. 37 seconds of riding time, 38, 39. Okay, so you're looking at 20 seconds that he's got to return them and ride them. Boot almost came in. Oh, looking at the coaches, and Retro. If he can shake him off here, he's in good shape, but he's got both legs in. I seriously doubt that's going to happen. CBU coaches are calling for him to shake. That actually sometimes becomes detrimental in that position. Both legs in. Now, riding time up over 115 with about 30 seconds left. And it looks like Voinovich is going to eke this one out on riding time. And again, you see him kind of, now I don't know if I would even bother with the inside wrist on the right-hand side. Yeah, I'd push the elbow in, right? So you see how he's reaching with his right hand for that inside wrist? Don't even bother. Just push on the elbow. Bring it close to the body so he can't post it. And the official calls it dead again. Terry Brands is less than thrilled. Less than thrilled. Switch attempt and no go. So the first minor decision for the Hawkeyes. All right, up to 157 pounds. Jared Franek, another transfer from NDSU. He's ranked number 2 in the country. Jared Franek is a nightmare to hand fight with. You know, not the flashiest wrestler. There's no question about that. But he gets the job done. He is as solid positionally as you can be. And now, if you're watching Drayton Morton come out, he too, from Winthrop, Minnesota. A little bit of a different build from his brother. Dane, a little shorter, stockier. Drayden, a little lower to the ground in his stance and longer, lankier in stature. Double leg from space as he clears the tie. There's a single leg and a shin whizzer for Morton. Franek shelves it on the near hip, just like you're supposed to. Again, solid position here for Franek. And great job by Morton just trying to peel one of those hands. The longer that knee stays pointed towards the ground, the better it's going to be for which Morton is this? Drayden Morton. Okay. Franek wants that knee facing the ceiling. Great job by Morton keeping it down on the ground, keeping heavy on that whizzer. Now he's starting to think about offense himself. He's good. He looks like he's good from this position. I've not seen him wrestle much, but there are certain guys that have a longer, lankier build that can wrestle from that sit the corner position with the head tucked. Now Franek has a Turk leg, and if Morton doesn't change his position soon, inevitably that will be a takedown, especially as Franek starts to get his arm out. I would start going. If I had any tricks up my sleeve, I'd go right now. And there is one of them. He sat the corner, no score yet. Danger rule is nothing yet. Great feel by Morton. He's gonna sit out in 3. Oh my goodness. Gives up a takedown on the scramble. And Franek takes a 3-0 lead. Left hand inside wrist for Jared Franek. And nice turn there by Morton. And again, you know, it's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain to people. Stall cons. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what we're calling today. All right, that's fine. So 3-0 here in terms of the scoreboard. Franek, I thought he was doing a good job on top. Maybe, now look, you know, I giggle a little bit at the call, but the truth of the matter is he was riding fairly parallel. You just don't see that called all that much at a college level. You know, there is a reward system in place in riding time for you to ride. And that's what Jared Franek was doing. And before we break here for, I don't know what it was, injury or whatever. But, blood? Yeah, it was blood. Before we were breaking for that, now look at, this is a very intelligent, seasoned wrestler. He's talking to the official, not barking at him, just trying to ask him what he's looking for in terms of a ride. Now he's off to the side a little bit. Now the official might give him a little bit more leeway, right? Very intelligent, seasoned wrestling by Jared Franek. First period ends 3-0 with about a month and a half, no, only a minute 5 of riding time. Now, as I was saying before we broke, it's hard to explain to freshmen the type, and by the way, Morton is a freshman. It's hard to explain to freshmen the type of pressure they're going to be under when it comes to fifth-year seniors, it's like Jared Franek is. Jared Franek has been there, done that, has given up a ton of takedowns, has been in a ton of scrambles. 7 minutes is a long time to be out on the mat with a guy that stays in such great position, hand fights so well as Jared Franek does. There is a hard collar tie, and look, if you're Jared Franek, that's exactly where you want to be. Just pulling this young kid down by the ears until he gets tired of wrestling you and he comes out of position. There is a nice little stab step, level change. Franek down blocks at the level change. Underhook now for Morton. Snap down Franek. That looked like it hurt a little bit. Coach Rollins checking in all the way from Ohio, excuse me. Our sentiments are shared. Neutral position, so 4-0 still for the Hawkeye. Level change by Morton. Snap down with the left hand for Franek. Nice snap down again. And again, you're going to see him start to utilize that snap down as the match wears on. The third period is not a freshman's friend. And they'll go to the neutral position. So 56 minutes, 56, that's not nice of me. 56 seconds of riding time for Franek. There is a single leg attempt and brings that chest over. He's got one leg, doesn't have the other one. If he sneaks his left arm through, Drayden trying to step over. That leg is shelved. That is a tall order, and there's a takedown, 7-0, and the riding time will creep up over a minute here in just a sec. So I'm not sure if you guys have riding time graphics on your screen. There they are. Look at you guys are good. Up at 110 now. Blair ride on the left-hand side. Franek is heavy. That is as heavy as 157 pounds. Can absolutely be. Ooh, wrong Coach Rollins. Sorry about that, Jimmy. My bad. Green stalling now. Franek gets set on the conventional side. We go with top man caution. You do have to get set there. Whistle start. Morton goes to a sit, comes up to a quad pod, and back to a switch. And he gets himself free. 7-0 turns into 7-1. 8-1 with the riding time. There's about 22 seconds left. Dre Morton's gonna have to get after him pretty good. There's a single leg, and Franek can just hang on a leg here and kill the last 12 seconds of this match. But if he gets a takedown, it will be a major decision. That is a well-wrestled match by Jared Franek. All right, folks. We're going to take a short break here, and we will be back with 165 pounds to conclusion right after this. Hello. right, folks, second half of the opening weekend here in Riverside, California. Iowa Hawkeyes with a commanding 19-0 lead so far. And look, if we're gonna talk about the story of the duel so far, for me, it has been the Lancers are having a really hard time dealing with consistent pressure that these Hawkeyes are bringing on them. Look, it is a younger Lancer team. They are new to Division I wrestling. Last year was their first year in competition. They are, golly, they are really putting butts in the seats. They got a buzz about them, and they're on the uptick. There's no question about it. But the Hawkeyes right now, ranked number 2 in the country, they're just a little bit too much in every position, okay? And I think as this match kind of climbs towards heavyweight, one of the things that I want you to watch is belief start to set into this Lancer team, okay? There are a couple of question marks at the back end of the Iowa lineup, and there are a couple of wild cards, Peter Charty, in the CBU lineup. So again, I want you to kind of take notice. I'm sure that Coach Moore had a good amount to say to the Lancer team. Look, there are no moral victories in the NCAA, right? There's no one that's gonna pat you on the butt and say, great job, only losing by 1 or 2. But there is something to be said with like, hey, you can compete with these guys. And when you have a team that believes that they can compete with some of the best in the country, that Iowa is definitely some of the best in the country, now you have a team that's gonna go out there and fight for every takedown for 7 minutes. Now, again, I'm sure Coach Moore had some words of wisdom to speak to these kids at the half. Let's see if they take it to heart, because they are in some of these matches, right? Look, with the exception of Real Woods and Darren Green, there haven't been any absolute positive blowouts, right? There were some major decisions, but those got away from them later. I think if I'm Coach Moore, I tell these athletes, look, you are in there. Go punch them in the face in the third the way that you're punching them in the face in the first period. But then again, they give me a microphone, right? What do I know? 165 pounds coming up here in just a little bit. Mateo De La Pena, he's a redshirt freshman from Washington. He'll get the go for the Lancers. Michael Caliendo, another All-American transfer for the Hawkeyes. Caliendo ranked number 5 in the country right now. He's a sophomore from Illinois, Geneva, Illinois. And we're gonna get moving here in just a second. 165 pounds coming up. We'll get a little, I don't know if you guys can hear the house mic, but look, here's the deal. There's a good amount of people at this match. Wrestling has landed in Southern California. I'm fired up to be a part of it. Thank y'all for listening. Second half of this Iowa CBU duel coming at you right now. All right, whistle blows, they are underway. Elbow control to a far side pick, re-attack there by De La Pena, and Caliendo sits the corner for a second, then switches to baseline D. Great job, little scramble here to start the first. De La Pena doesn't have that much flexibility in the knee, so he'll give up a 3-point takedown here with about a minute in. 30 seconds in is what I meant to say, gotta listen. Felt like a minute, that was a long scramble. Switch position, Caliendo cuts him. 3-1 now is the score. Elbow off there was, he went from the penthouse to the basement on that level change there. That was pretty good. I bet you he gets that sooner rather than later if De La Pena stays on the collar. 2-on-1. These guys that wrestled for NDSU, they are really adept at controlling ties. Now, something tells me that being in this Iowa room, he's learned. There's a nice shot and re-attack for Caliendo. Man, a locking hands call? I didn't see it, but yeah, okay. All right, well, 6-2 then. So. And as I was saying before, the locking hands call, that's a head lever, by the way. I was gently reminded. That's not lever. I apologize. Thanks, Joel Cover. So, as I was saying before the locking hands call, something tells me that the work that these guys, specifically Caliendo and Franek, have done in the NDSU room to get really good at controlling ties has only been added to. Escape for De La Pena makes it 6-3. Yeah, you know, it's funny. A couple people getting to me right now, and Izzy Martinez is one of them. This is Caliendo's another Izzy kid. Nice boot scoot there. And again, the way that this kid can change levels is outstanding. And that's the type of stuff that really works well towards the later half of the match when guys are slippery and they're bent over, they're a little out of position. Nice shot and re-attack. Real Woods being the other Izzy style kid. And that'll do it for the first. 6-3, 2 takedowns, 2 escapes, and a lock and hands call. And let's take a look at that first takedown here. Here's a nice little re-attack. He sits the corner, and this is where the position becomes unmanageable for De La Pena as soon as he collected those hips back underneath him. Nice little single leg, inside reach, too much. Caliendo's too much. And even if he got a bite on the leg, it wouldn't have mattered too much. He was already at an angle. Caliendo, great defensive action there. Inside reach. Now this is where he got called for stalling, did Franek, riding parallel. Now look, you can call it whatever you want. If you don't agree with that call, that's fine, but at least he's being consistent. Switch position, now he cuts him. So 1:23 of riding time and a 10-4 lead now for Caliendo. Nice high crotch there by De La Pena. He can switch off, or Caliendo cuts that angle. He's got an aspirin lock, and that is trouble. Sits him down, catches a double, and that's another 3. Everything that De La Pena throws at him, Caliendo has an absolute answer for. And there's a near fall that's going to be at least 4 points. Now, this is the only position that I was told by the official would be allowed to have the ankle without getting a stalling count of 5, okay? But if you have that ankle in that bow and arrow, I don't know what y'all call it, but bow and arrow position for near fall, and Not sure what the call was on that. 17-4 is the score, though, by the way. And another cut makes it 17-5 going into the third. As I was saying before, the official let the guy off his back. The only thing that they're going to do with that ankle ride, that they're going to allow you to do with that ankle ride, is go to that bow and arrow. But you've got to start moving on it quick, otherwise they're going to start to count. And again, these are new rules that we're seeing in the 23-24 season. Caliendo, spiral ride to the right. Throws a half with the right now. He is a nightmare to deal with. Nice inside wrist to a Blair ride. Pinches that wrist and shoulder just like you're supposed to. Comes towards the outside and pulls a butt drag, and he's got to watch him lose a ring like that. Jeez Louise. Blair ride on the right-hand side now. Called that one potentially dangerous, did the official. This whole sport's potentially dangerous. And now another escape here for De La Pena makes it 17-6, and a high crotch double. Sit him down will make it 20-6 with the riding time is 21. See if they want to keep him down or cut him. It looks like Caliendo's going to cut him. Goes to an outside step. De La Pena is going crotch lock. He might have just given up a take, or excuse me, there it is. There's a takedown to ice it with another 3 points, makes it 23-7. And that'll do it for 165 and Michael Caliendo. Great job by De La Pena. He was in dire straits there, a couple positions. All right, 174 coming at you. Aiden Riggins here for the Hawkeyes, taking on Pena Charty for the Lancers. Let me tell you something. Think of a knuckleball wrestler. From what I remember of Pena Charty when he was in high school, wrestling in Dirty Jersey, and he wrestled for Bosco. From what I remember, he was more of a Tim Wakefield than he was a Roger Clemens. Got some junk to him, folks. There's a overtie snap for a Charty. Nice little stab at a single leg. Nice single leg there for Riggins. Comes up short offense here for a Charty. He's got to keep that head buried. Over tie into that short offense position for Riggins. Thumb block trying to escape that tie is a Charty. Underhook with the left-hand side now for Riggins. Switches to a left-hand collar tie. Snaps down. Does Riggins. Kind of in that M position there. I don't know how else to explain that. Both guys kind of straight-legged. Head goes down below the knees right there. Looks like the letter M. There's a single leg out the back door. Charty trying to catch a crotch lock. Can't quite get it. Aiden Riggins almost pops his head out. A Charty, if he can get that foot back, might be in some... There's a nice little leg pass attempt. A Charty's got to extend the leg away from the body. Push. Nope, not going to be able to do it there. Riggins gets heavy on the leg that's being attacked. A Charty rolls through, and no danger rule yet. Did I tell you we were a knuckleball wrestler, I guess. But Charty still has the ankle, I believe. Riggins trying to catch an ankle himself. But Charty now making it his leg attack. Starts to sit, extend the leg away from the body. He wants to get it up on the left-hand hip. Nope, no score. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Good call by the official, actually. No, it was. Under both arms, leg hooked. Whether it was a crazy leg or an actual a hooked leg is irrelevant. Heavy on the left-hand side is Riggins. And he cuts him. Look, you know, it's one of the things about a kid like a Charty is I think that these 3-point takedowns, 4-point near falls really help a kid like that. He can go feet to back. I've seen him go feet to back. Nice single leg there. Hips go down, and Charty's wrestling from that wizard position. One knee on the ground, Riggins proceeding with caution, as you should. You know, again, these are the positions that, like, if I'm Riggins, I don't want anything to do with. Single leg, ankle pick, drops to a double, and that should be another, no, not a 3-point takedown. No score yet. Great scramble here from a Charty, and that'll do it. Hands are on the mat. Well, okay, maybe not. And it does get a great job by Pena Charty, not giving up that takedown there at the edge. I'd say it was probably a little bit more than required reaction time, but I would be wrong. Charty set in the bottom position. 19 seconds of riding time built up for Riggins so far. Charty, quad pod stand, has the hand under the near arm. That one's important. He has the ankle. I mean, he's got to turn and kick now. So remember what we said earlier. If the drop down rule is now only going to get counted if the bottom wrestler turns out of the position and kicks away. Ankle pick attempt by a Charty. Double leg from the clearing of the tie, and a Charty stuffs the head underneath. Riggins trying to bring it down to the mat, go Turk leg again. A Charty trying to build his base. He is going back to that leg pass. He's got to get it away from 3-point takedown already. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. He did have a leg hooked. He was in a dominant position. I agree with that. So, riding time creeping over a minute right about now. 9-2 is the score. And 2 points. 1 point? What is he? I'm not sure what he's talking about. Escape. For Charty makes it 10-3. I guess I called him a stall. Short offense now for a Charty. Riggins builds his way out of there. Charty takes a gander over the clock. There's 4 seconds left. And Riggins will choose bottom. (10-3), 114 riding time built up. So you're going to see a Charty at least give him a look on top. Side headlock. Oh boy. And maybe not. 106, 105, 104. 104 is the riding time so far built up by Riggins. Single leg attempt. Great down block there by Riggins. Short offense. Ankle pick to his behind, and that'll be another 3 points for Aiden Riggins, bringing it up to 14-3. So 14-4 now with 1:12 of riding time. And let's see if Riggins goes to the other ankle. Nope, he decides to go to the hamstring. Charty keeps that short offense. See if he's got some tricks in here. Dresser dump attempt, kept the short offense. And out the back now for Riggins. Charty switches to a crotch lock this time. 24 seconds left here on the match clock. No score, or excuse me, no change. They'll go back to the center in the neutral position. 19 seconds left now. Underhook of Charty. Single leg into a cradle, and Riggins has him in trouble. That should do it. 14-4, should be 17-4 with the last takedown there. 18-4 with riding time, so a 14-point major decision for the Hawkeyes.
And for your Atlanta, he's a two-time California State champion and former finalist. He placed third in the under-23 World Team Trials this past summer. Redshirt sophomore from Northern California, Nathan.
All right, folks, here we go, 184 pounds. Nathan Haas, redshirt sophomore. No, excuse me, just a true sophomore. Brennan Swafford for the Hawkeyes. Snap here. There's a right-hand single leg for Swafford. Re-attack to a double, and no score on it. Great job there on the re-attack. These Lancer faithful here, very excited to hear Haas's name being announced over the PA. California kid. Back here from Nebraska just a year ago. There's a clear into a double leg, re-attack their attempt by Swafford. There's a little bit of a reach with the inside hand towards the leg. About halfway through this first period, no score yet. Swafford. There's a right-hand single leg. He's got a good lock on it. Great job by Swafford switching over to that kind of halfway crotch lock, bringing him over his hip. I don't know exactly what you call that, but when you keep that head stuffed in the center there, usually turns out pretty good for you. There's another single leg reattack now by Swafford. And pulls him into short offense. Let's see if he can score with 30 seconds left. Chest to chest position, switches to a collar tie. Does Haas. There is a bit of a tug on that arm. Just kind of let him get free. Short time on the clock, and that'll do it for the first. So, set of goose eggs here in the first period. Swafford has choice, he'll go down. Roll on a Granby, and he puts him on his back. Reversal, and at least a couple near fall. They got 4 near fall and 1 escape. So 6-1 is the score. Good luck figuring out the riding time on that. Single leg, reattack, off to a double. There's another 3 for Swafford, makes it 9, pardon me, 9-1, as Haas gets broken down to his hip as they go towards the out of bounds. Head lever. Now into a bar. Green is called for stalling. And all out of bounds. 45 seconds of riding time. 50 seconds left here on the match clock in the second period. Stand up for Haas. Peels towards his left hip. Gets to a switch position. Constant motion helps. And he's gonna have to climb back into this thing, but it's not crazy to think, being down 7, that you can come away with a W. Riding time not a factor yet, 55 seconds of riding time so far. I do believe that something tells me that Haas will choose bottom in the third, and if that's the case, I don't know, maybe he won't. He's within 7, that's a takedown and a set of backs now. But maybe he doesn't choose down. And that's the end of the second. They're gonna go, we're gonna go to a replay on that takedown, I assume. Nope, this is the roll through. Oh, this is where he put him on his back. Yeah, that's a solid replay. And brings him right to his back to Swafford. So, as we start the third, Haas does choose. Oh, he gets a switch, standing reversal. All right, he's got some, oh boy. Little bit of pop in the crowd with the half and crotch on the mat return. Haas wants this crowd into it. 9-4. Make sure that the riding time is going down now. And single leg. Haas wants to bring this thing into a street fight, and I like it. This official is, he's got his hands full. Double leg, single leg, has his hands locked, can't score it. Oh, takedown for Swafford. No, just had nothing on that single leg coming up to his feet. So Swafford catching a bar, and there's a stall call for his efforts, and 1 point for red. Crossface to bring him back in bounds, I'd assume. Oh, there's that. He's got to move with it. Chose to let it go. The official let him know. And they'll go back to the center. No change, 31 seconds left. 1:49 of riding time built up for Swafford. 10-0 lead is iced now. Or excuse me, riding time is iced now. So 10-0 turns into 11 here pretty quickly with 30 seconds left. Mat return, and Swafford just being a wet blanket on top. Driving with his legs. Coming out to the side. Now he's got a hammer lockout. And let's see if he uses it or just trying to hold the period here. Hold the match here. 3 seconds left, and that should do it. Swafford finishes strong with a major decision. And this is the good old mat return there. Plastic people in Wisconsin that are fired up. Not bad. All right. Here we go. 197 pounds on the mat, Eli Sheeran. And he'll be taking on Zach Glazer. Glazer, a senior from Minnesota. Sheeran from Klein, Texas, East Texas. And by way of Buffalo. So this was the portion of the Iowa lineup that I think everyone was kind of curious to see. Look, as far as I'm concerned, Swafford passed the test. I mean, great pressure, great reattacks, you know, scored from every position. Offense, defense, special teams, in case you're not paying attention. There's a nice stab at a leg there for Glazer. Good hard club with the left hand for Sheeran. Stab, step, snap. And collar ties have been the story of this one so far. There's a single leg, and he gets a takedown there, does Glazer. So it's 3-0 now. And nice little knee slide by Sheeran. Tries to stay in bounds. He's in pretty solid position. And they go out of bounds, so Glazer will take a 3-0 lead back to the center. 17 seconds of riding time so far. There is a mat return and good claw ride on the right. Ankle pick, and yeah, nice job picking those ankles across the body. I mean, it helps when you're tall for the weight to be able to do that. But Sheeran's position has gone from bad to worse right now. And I say that because, you know, not only is he on his belly, but if you watch Glazer's left elbow as he tries to build his base, you'll see Glazer really stuffing that knee closer, you know, to his behind than it is to his belly, so that he can't really build a base down there. Excellent top wrestling there by Glazer. Glazer gets set on the goofy-footed side. Lift and no return yet. Lift to the other side, return. Claw ride from the quad pod. There's that nice little ankle pick, and you're seeing the official call him whether he has the ankle or not. He didn't, but that's fine. Quad pod. And now he's got to call that. Nope. As they go to bounce, referee was correct on that. He's got to turn to kick now. So riding time at 1:42. There's a caution on Glazer. Another out of bounds call from that trip. And Glazer will go back to the center. Now he cuts him with 1:14 left in the first. 3-1 the score with 1:54 of riding time built up. Level change, snap down for Sheeran. Snap down again for Sheeran. Lots of collar ties here. Snap down into a single leg for Sheeran. Nice little ankle pick there. And kicks away does Sheeran. So the third period will start with Sheeran looking at his coaches and asking if he can cut him. Coach was like, get your butt on top, learn how to wrestle. Pulls the old switcheroo. Starts on the left, goes to the right. Sheeran does eventually cut him. Scores 4-1 now. Oh, nice single leg. I guess he pulled him right into that. And now Glazer chasing tail, heavy hips, good solid position, and he'll get a takedown. So 7-1. Let's see if Glazer decides to cut him. And you're seeing Coach Terry Brand saying, hey, let's run it up right now. 7-2 now is the score. Snap down for Sheeran. Glazer pulls at the wrist. Let's see if he can turn that into a shot. He does. Can't quite get a hold of it, though. Nice single leg. And he switches to the back hook, comes out the back, hooks that leg in a Turk position, pulls the left arm out. He's fine. Right arm is trouble. That's trouble for Sheeran, and he's got 3 for a takedown, looking to add to it. 10-2 now the score with a bunch of riding time. And if he stays on top, or even if he doesn't, he's going to have a major decision for the Hawkeyes. 32-0 is the team score right now. Soon to be 30. Well, maybe not. Yeah, still gonna be a major, right? Yeah, because math. And that turns it into 36. Nothing in favor of the Iowa Hawkeyes. All right, here we go. Max Charty, Bradley Hill, redshirt freshman from Bettendorf, Iowa. Max Charty from the Great Garden State of New Jersey. And what could be more Jersey than coming out? It's all blue eyes. Over tie for Charty. Slide by attempt. Double from space. Low double, maybe a low single. I don't know if he could have gotten to both. Single leg attempt there for Bradley Hill. Charty gives him a little space, catches a breather, back into a tie. Over tie slide by for a Charty. Single leg, nice single leg there by Hill. Charty kicks away and does full splits as most heavyweights cannot. And I don't know that it's gonna be, might be elementary at this point. Yeah, it is. So Hill picks up a takedown on a well-timed right-hand single leg. Low on the leg, shelves it just like you're supposed to. And he'll get to work on top. Inside wrist on the left-hand side. Charty trying to swing his hand out. Oh, nice. That's really hard to do, and that's even harder at a heavyweight level. See Coach Terry Brands getting after Hill pretty good there. I'm sure it was all positive stuff that he was saying. Lots of rainbows, lots of unicorns. For real though, like what a Charty just did on bottom, clearing the hips, and instead of going to a Granby roll, which would have been one shoulder, he kind of cartwheels. It's really hard to do, and it's especially hard to do with what looks like 240 pounds on top of you. Not the biggest heavyweight in the world, but I don't care. He's bigger than me. Charty trying to build his base. Hill keeping heavy on the right-hand side. Riding time up over a minute now. It's 3-0 Hill as we're winding down here in the first. Winding down in the match. Or the duel itself, rather. So sit out for a Charty. Waterfall position for Hill. That'll do it for the first. So
At the end of the first period, the score is Iowa 3, CBU 0.
here we go. Second period coming at you. Snap down on the right-hand side. And stall call on Charty. All right, isolates the hand, cuts himself, makes it a 3-1 match. 2:05 of riding time built up for Hill. See if he starts single leg, nice down block, re-attack, and a Charty can't get his hands. Now he's got his hands locked. I don't know if he can do anything with it though. Yeah, that's a big old boy on top of you. You can get your hands locked all you want if you're up that high. Ain't gonna make much of a difference. So Hill cuts him, and a Charty gets an escape, and it makes it 6-2, 2:15 of riding time. Underhook throw by for Hill. Nice single leg, and Hill shelves it, and Charty tries to get into the splits position again. Doesn't mean a whole lot. Nice job by Charty cutting himself on that last one. 10 seconds left here in the duel. 9-3 is the score in the match. And that should do it. Oh no, I'm sorry. One more period. My bad. Sorry. I was cutting him a little bit close. 9-3 the score now. Hill goes down. Charty kicks the leg, and that brought the crowd into the match, if nothing else. Charty puts him back down. And Charty trying to chip away a little bit at that riding time, looks at the official, or excuse me, looks at the bench and tells them, hey, I'm gonna cut him. He goes optional start, brings him to his feet, and we'll get to work in the neutral position here. About 90 seconds left. There's a swing and a miss by a Charty. He slipped. It happens. It's a long match. And I believe Hill has a Turk leg over there. I can't really see. He does have, yep, bottom leg's hooked. And if he can get under the chin, elevate the leg is probably more important than getting underneath the chin, but yeah. So he got underneath the chin, but he didn't elevate the leg. So Blair ride brings it out to a hammerlock. If he can get both knees on the head, or like kind of straddling the head, he's in business. And another escape for a Charty makes it 14-4. Nice hips for Hill. Darn close to another takedown, but that should do it, folks. So from the Fowler Event Center, thank you so much for tuning in.